Okay, so hello everyone. This is part 18 of our playlist React.js. Okay, in previous video we have seen how we can create this register UI, means register form, how we can create. Okay, just see the code of this registration form. If you haven't seen the previous video, so first go through the previous video, which is part 17. Okay, then come back to this video. Okay, so everyone please create this form UI. Okay, so I'm showing you my code. Okay, what I because I want to say, like, whatever you are learning, just implement. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you the code so that you can write this code. Pause the video and write the code. Implement together. Okay, so see this code. Okay, if you missed any step, so you can take note from here. All right, so this is our code we have used for creating registration form. Okay, you can pause the video or you can take the screenshot, whatever you want to, you can do, right? Thing is, implement with me. Okay, then only you can understand. Okay, so this was our form. Okay, this is the output of that code, right? So here what I will do, I'll create the state. So how we can create the state? So in order to create the state, first I will write here. Okay, so we will create a state outside the return. Okay, so here I will write const, and then I will use state and set state. Okay, and then I will use state hook. Use state hook. All right. Here I will initialize the state. So if we are using this use state hook, so definitely we need to import this. So I'll write here import React. I'll import React first, then use state. Okay, from React, right? Like this. Okay, comma is missing. Okay, fine. Okay, so it is not like here I'm mentioning state and set state. So you can use another thing also, like you can say like text and set text as well. So there is no error at all. But for our convenience, so that we can easily remember, that's why I'm writing each and every time state and set state. Okay, but it is not mandatory to write state and set state. So here I will create user object. Okay, because whatever this field data, okay, username, mail, password, designation, okay, feedback, accept. So this all data I will store in an object first. So in order to store this data in an object, so I'll create the object state. Okay, so here I will create an user object. I'll say user, and here I will write name, like username. What is our first field name? Username. Our first field name is username, then email, password, designation, okay, feedback, and this like that. All right, and then we have email. I'll create field email, right? And then I'll create password here, password, right? And then I'll create designation, right? So whatever fields are there, I'll mention all the fields in object, in creating object. So next we have feedback, right? And then we have terms. Initially I'll say terms is false. Okay, this is a boolean value. Okay, so this is how we have created our objects. Okay, let me write comment here. State management with use state hook. Okay, right? Then what I will do, I'll create an user arrays. I'll create an user arrays. Okay, so I'll say users, right? So I'll write here users, and this is array. Okay, so why error is coming? Because I missed what? I missed comma here. And then what I have to do? Let me write semicolon. Okay, because we store the like whatever this object, like for example, if you are entering one user data, so this is what one object. If you are entering second person data, that is what second object. So like that we will store that objects in array. That's why I'm creating an array here. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to do this destructuring. Okay, so let me write the heading destructuring state for easier access. Okay, if you want to access this username, so what you will write, you will write state dot user dot username, like that. Okay, let me tell you, before destructuring, if you will not do destructuring, so how you will access this particular field? So you will write here state dot user dot username. like that. You, if you want to access this, so this much statement you have to write. But I don't want to write this lengthy statement, so what I will do, I will destructuring. So how we can destructure our data, like here I'll say let users, user and users. Okay, so we are talking about this object and this object. For both I'm doing destructuring, right? Here I'll say this is state. So means state is automatically there inside this user and users. So now after destructuring, if I want to call this, I don't need to write state dot. Directly I can write directly user dot username, or what I can write, or I can write users dot username, like that. That's why I'm doing here destructuring for easier convenient, because so many places we will use this user dot state, okay, as we implement our project further. Okay, now what I have to do, okay, now what I will do, inside the input field, we have to mention three things, each input field. Okay, so first input field, let me check where is our first input field. Here is first input field, which is username. Okay, so for this username, we have to define three things. First is name. What's the name of this? What is the name of this field? So this field name is username. Okay, why I am writing this name here, so that I can identify, for example, someone entering data here like Nabir. Okay, so how you will call this data, how you will identify this data? So I will identify this data through name dot, okay, user dot name, so I will get username. Okay, so I'm just giving the name to this field, so this field name is username. And the second thing I will give, okay, so we will create here value field as well, so that we can call our data. Okay, we can call our data like user dot username, and this username represent to this object data. Okay, so we are connecting this object data through this input, right? So this is one thing. Second thing, and the third thing we have to do, on change. On change, okay, on change is a on change, where, so how on change will work. So whatever we will write in our input field, for example, here is our input field username. So whatever we write in our field, so that data automatically will store inside the object. So that's why we are creating this on change. So here we have to create a function as well, update input. Okay, so for example, whatever username we are passing, we will create this function update input. So here we will create a function which is, okay, so let me create a function as well. So what is the function name? Const update input. Okay, let me create this arrow function, right? So this is a function we will use. Okay, whatever we will write in this field, the on change will work. On change will work whenever we will write something in input field. Okay, so these three field we have to write in each input field. Okay, so this is input field for mail ID. So here also, okay, not outside the input field, inside the input field we have to write these three things. So what's the name of this, what's the name of this particular input field? The input field name is simply email. Okay, then I have to say user dot, for this now I will say this email, user dot email, right? So let me write here user dot email. Okay, then what is our, okay, our function would be same, update input. Okay, right. And here also in password field I have to mention these three things. What's the name of this field? Password. Okay, whatever object name you have given, whatever the object field name you have given, password same field name you have to write here as well. Okay, after password, user dot password, right? And then this function will be the same. Okay, and here also we have to mention in the select. Okay, in the select also we have to mention here. Okay, so what is this field name? Designation. Okay, and user dot designation. Okay, it is very simple, it is not that much hard. Okay, first time if you will do it, it may look like you hard, but it is not that much hard, right? What is this field name? This field name is feedback. Okay, feedback. and we will write here user dot feedback, right? And this update input function is same. And after that we have it. After that we have this checkbox. And for the checkbox, we will write the same. What is the name of this checkbox? So what we have written in our object feedback. Okay, what is the name of this terms? Let me write here. Name is what? Terms. Okay, and here user dot terms. Right. So whenever on click will work, whenever any change will happen, what is the mean of change? If I'm saying change means if somebody typing his name on this field or typing his or her email, so that is what an event. Whenever any event will occur, this on change function will call this update input function. Okay, so let me let me create the functionality of this input update function, which is here. Okay, so let me write the code of input update. Okay, so first let me write some comments so that you can easily understand. So this is what function to update form submission. Okay, and add user to state. Okay, no, this is the form function to update the form input, not the submission input, and update state. Right. So let's see how this function will work. So here, what I will write simply, I will write set state. Okay, and set state takes two things. One is previous state, and also it returns what new state. Right. So before asking old state, we have to we have to write this. We have to call the fields. So we will write here like name is one object. Okay, object property name, and then after name we have value, then type and check. Okay, so this much we will write, and we will say event dot target. Okay, event dot target, because whenever on change will happen from here, whenever this on change will call this update function, so this update function will call through an event. So one event will pass here. Let me write here event. Okay, automatically one event will come. That's why I'm writing here event dot target. We will target that field from where event is coming. Some event is happening. Okay, so we have to. I created this name, value, and type and check. Okay, we have given name. We also given value. Inside the value, we given the function, and type. We will check whether it is password. Okay, password or text or email like this. And this one extra is for checkbox. Okay, whenever we click, so we will check using ternary operator whether user clicked on terms and conditions or not, like whether user clicked here or not. Okay, right now error is coming, but let me implement this part so that you can easily understand it, right? So instead of writing this property's name again and again, what I will do, I will use here spread operator. So I will say triple dot state. Okay, this is nothing but spread operator. At once we can call all the properties of the user object. Okay, so here I will write user. Okay, spread operator of user. Okay, now where you have to change, I have to change your name. So I'll write here name, right? Then I'll say type. Okay, if type equals to checkbox. Okay, we are writing code for checkbox. If checkbox, okay, now we are checking whether checkbox is clicked or not. Okay, so I'll say checked or not, checked, checked or valid. Okay, so if like we are what we are doing, we are using ternary operator. If checkbox, if type equals to checkbox, okay, because we are using here type also. If type equals to text, means this condition will not work. If type equals to checkbox, so means this condition is true. If true, so we will write here checked. Otherwise, if condition is false, then we will give value to this name, right? Hope you are getting. If type equals to checkbox, then this name assign what checkbox checked. This checked condition will assign. Suppose this condition is not true, means type is not equals to checkbox, then we will, in the name we will assign what we will assign value. Okay. Okay, so let's check whether our data is storing in the object or not. Okay, so here is we have user object. Okay, and these are the input fields. So we will check like whether this data from here from input field to objects property is coming or not. Means instead of username, our username is coming or not. Okay, for email is coming or not. So how we will check? Let me enter something. Okay, so all right, some error is coming, uncatch runtime errors. Okay, so what it is saying, read properties of undefined username. Let's say what's the problem. Okay, so this is what spread operator. Okay, so we are fetching all the properties of which object? User object, right? So how like we have to mention here user. If we are working on user object, user properties, so we have to write this spread operator inside this. Okay, like this. Now let's check whether it's again error is coming on. Okay, so error is not coming now. Okay, so I want to see in real time whatever I'm entering in this fields. So this data is storing in this object fields or not. So what I will do, I will write a pre tag here outside the container. Okay, so here let me write a pre tag, and here I will I will display this object. Which object? I will display this user object. How can I display the user object? So I will display this user object in JSON format. So in order to display the object in JSON format, I will write here JSON. Okay. And then what I will write? I will write a method. What's the method name? Stringify. Okay. Stringify is the method name. And here I will write object name. What is my object name is user. Okay. So it will show me on real time. Okay. So what is the data? Okay. Username is empty right now. Email, everything is empty. So whatever I will write here, for example, my name I'm writing. So can you see here on real time? It is storing our data. Okay. For example, I'm writing here mail nk@gmail.com. So it's storing password is like 123. Okay, let me say designation. The designation it is not coming. The designation is not coming. Let's see what's the error in designation input. Okay, so as a developer, you must know how we can rectify the problems. Okay, so this is the select field. Okay, select field. So inside the option, we should write the value, whatever value we have written here. So whatever value we are displaying here, we have to write this value inside the value attribute. Okay, just like that. Okay, like this copy and paste here in value also. Okay, getting or not? So whenever you will create the project, it's not mean like in one go you will achieve your project. It will take lots of time because sometimes error will come, sometime some issue will come. Okay, like that you will feel so many problems. Okay, right. Password 123. Now check whether designation is working or not. Okay, full stack developer, it's working. A feedback, like, okay, whatever feedback I'm giving, it's coming. If I click on this, so it is true. Okay. So means it is working. Now I will work on register. When I click on register, it must be register. Okay. So in order to register our data, we will create the table. So this was for testing purpose. I've written this pre tag just because of testing purpose. Let me comment it. Okay. Now I will create the table format where I can store our data. When I'll click on the register button. Okay. So in the first place, what I will do, I will write in the form on submit. Okay. What will happen on when we click on register button? So in order to deal with this matter, we have to write on submit. Okay. On submit, and we will write here register user. Okay. So this is what register user function. Okay. Let me declare this function. Let me write the code for this function so that whatever we will submit, it should be submit properly. Right. Okay, so let me create the function here. All right. So let me write command first. Function to handle form submission and add user to state. Okay. So this is the work of our function. So we will create arrow function register user. Okay. Because to event, one event will occur when we click on register button. Okay. So we will handle that event. All right. Now what I will write event dot prevent default. Okay. So this prevent default function, what it does, like it will prevent us from like wrongly submission of the form. Like if one person submitted the form, then all the details are there in form. So he's clicking register button again and again, and like multiple duplicate entries are going inside the database. So that's the wrong thing. So we will prevent it. Okay? Prevent from submission, or we can say resubmission. Okay. All right. So now what I will create, as usual, I will write here set state function. Everyone knows what is the work of set state function. Don't be confused of the complex. Like if you are being confused because of the complexity of the code, so believe me, don't be confused because it's really simple. It's really simple once you understand the concept. Like what is set state? It's take old state and return new state. That is very simple, right? So here what I will do, I will use a spread operator. All right. After that, what I will write? I will write here users array. Okay, so we have users array or not? We have this users array. So we will use this users array in order to store multiple entries. Okay, so here is the work of this users array. Okay, so users, and again I will use spread operator, right? Okay, so let me write here comma. Okay, now error is not coming. So the spread operator like state dot user. Okay, users all properties I need. Then I will say state dot user, right? So why I am writing this? Why I am writing this? You should understand this. Okay. So I am writing this to add current user to users. Okay. So what this line will do? So whatever our current user properties, whatever the current users data, it will store in the users array, right? So like that only this property work. Now what I will do here, I'll create users. Okay, user object. And what I will do, if someone submitted the like form data, like he registered, so all the data, whatever his previous entries, like whatever data are there, for example I'm writing here whatever I'm writing here, so once I click on register button, these data must be gone. Okay, there should not be any entry. So in this case what I will do, I will reset our fields object data. What I will say, reset reset user state to clear the form fields, right? So what are the fields I'll clear here? Username I'll clear. Then okay, wait. Username I will clear. Then email I'll clear. Right after email, password I will clear. After password designation, whatever entries are there on form, I'll clear all the data. Right. Feedback I'll clear. Right. And after feedback terms, I'll clear. Right. So all the things I have been cleared. Okay. So everything is fine now. Now what I will do, I'll create the structure of the table so that I can store my table as well. Okay, so what's the error is coming? Okay, unexpected. Okay, so as a programmer, it is our duty to handle this kind of error. So what's the error? Let me add a comma here. Just the tiny errors make issues. Okay, now what I will do, I'll create the table structure. So let's go here. Okay, so this is a container div. Okay, so I'll create another container in order to create the table. All right. So what I will do, so this one is what container. This one is for row. Okay, like what I'm trying to say here. This one is for this first div is for container, and the second div is for row. So inside the second div, okay, inside the second div, in this div only, I'll create another column. Okay, we already created this column, so I'll create another column. So which one? This one is for container. This one is for row. So right after here, inside the row div, I'll create another column div. So I'll write here div call, okay, md8. Okay, it will take 8 column space, right? And I'll say div dot card. Okay, I'm creating card, and then I'll create the card header, card div dot card header, right? And then vg, what is vg info, right? And after that we have h4 dot text white, okay. And this is what I'm writing here. What I'm writing, heading. of the card, registered, okay, registered users. Okay, let's check whether it's coming or registered users. Let's see whether it's coming or not. Okay, so this card is coming. This is what? This is column 1. This is the column 2. Okay, so these both column are coming in single row. Okay, so here we have created our card header. Now what I will do after that, I'll create body of the card, right? So I'll say div dot card body. Okay, bg. Let's say light, ligst, height, right? And what I will do here. Okay, so see what I'm going to do here. Conditional rendering. Okay, what I will do, I will render the element on the basis of condition of user data table, right? And then first I will check whether user data is there or not, like whether entries are there in database or not. So I'll say users dot length. If length is greater than 0, means we have entries in our table. If it is greater than 0, means data is there, means I'll use the ternary operators here. Okay, so what I'm using here, ternary operator, right? So here what I will do, I will create a table. If data is there, then create a table. If data is not there, means user's length is less than 0, then don't create the table because data is not there. If it is greater than 0, means data is there, then create the table immediately. Okay, so I'll say class name. So what is class? Bootstrap table I'm creating. Table. Okay, border, right? Okay, then table head, t head, right? And inside the table head, I'll create table row. Sorry, table row, yes. And th table heading, user name. Okay, right now you cannot see th email, then th designation. Okay, after that we have th feedback, right? Okay, after that what I will do, this table. Okay, now after t head, what I will say, table body. Okay, in table body, what I will write, I'll say dynamically rendering rows for each user. If user is present, so we will display the data of the user. Okay, so I'll say users dot nav function I will use here. Users, so it will take user and index. Okay, and then so what I will do, I'll create tr table row. Okay, so here we have to write very carefully. So tr, inside the tr we will pass key index. Okay, and then here I'll write td, and inside the td I'll write what are the columns in row, what that I will write. So first column is user dot username. Okay, username. Then what I will write, td in user dot email. Then we have, okay, let keep it here so that you can easily understand this. Okay. After that we have user dot designation. All right. After designation, what we have, td. After designation we have user dot feedback. Right. Okay. So this much we have done. Okay. So table is ending here. Okay. So now what we are using ternary operator. So this is the one condition. Okay. See, from here we are writing after this column, after this question mark, we have this. If length is greater than 0, then use this code. If it is not greater than 0, then what we have to say? We will say like data is not there. Okay. Simply what we can do then? We will simply say in p tag, through p tag, what message we will display? No registered users yet. Okay, like this we can say. Okay, so this is how our code is completed. Let me check the output. What are the error is coming? Okay, no error. Let me say. Okay, error is coming. Length error is coming. Okay, let me sort out the error. Error is a part of life. We should know how to deal with error. Okay, so error is there. Users dot length. Okay, so let me check whether our state is initialized properly. It's the state. So here is the user state user object. We have check users. So here we will check users. User is okay. So this is what users. Okay, and we have this whole state. But before writing spread update user, what we will do, we write it dot state and give form, right? And let me uncomment detail so that we can check in real time the data is storing on. So where is our detail? Okay, here is it, right? So now check whether it's working or. So this is coming because of pre-10. This is our object. Our object is coming with the help of pre-10. So whatever right here, automatically this values, this properties is initialized with this respectively. For example, I'm writing name like my name, okay, writing Gmail. Okay, as you can see, this data is coming in the object properties. Okay, also like one designation, let me say stick develop feedback. So feedback I can say alright and accept house, right? Once I click on register button, when I click on this register button, whatever the data of this object property, it will store here in this registered, right? And this object is automatically initialized with none of the value, means these values will take empty from here. So let me click on register button. Okay, so data came into the table, okay, the respective field, and now see this object. This object is but this object have no value. Object properties have no value. Okay. So why it is happening? Because reset user state to clear the form fields. So we have written the code to clear the form field as well. Okay. So you can comment this pre-tag. This is just for your understanding, like how this set state function is setting values inside this properties. Okay. So this was our project. So you can enter multiple entries as well. All right. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Hope you will like this project. And if you like this project, then please practice this code. Right? Let me show you code from of code. Alright. So here is a code. You can take a screenshot or directly you can start implementing by pause the video. So here is a right. This is what register user method. Take the screenshot or implement right now. I pause the video. Because once you implement this code, then only you will understand. If you implemented this code by watching this video, then delete the code and create a new project and create the same project by yourself. When you create this project by yourself, you will stuck somewhere. So wherever you are stuck, please go through this video and resolve your errors. Alright, so this was our code. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video.